was going to speak to you about celebrity deaths or people you know who have died in a cool way. Because there's a matador from, I guess, late 1800s, early 1900s, who was the guy who... You know how matadors stand very still and they move very minimalist to kind of distract the bull? It used to be very acrobatic, like the clowns in bullfighting. I don't know if you've ever seen any bullfighting.
Not much.
When I used to go... I don't know if they still did. When I used to go to Spain when I was younger, it used to be shown on telly. And to me, like, I'm very against hunting... And there's a whole thing with the lion recently as well.
Yeah.
But which is fucked up.
That made me really sad.
Yeah, it made me really sad. When I was a kid and used to be in Spain, I used to watch the bullfighting and the kind of like... It used to scare me, but at the same time it was very interesting. But I don't agree with any of that. But it's very... When you see someone telly, when you're in UK, you're not used to seeing anything like that, then you see someone telly, you kind of watch it. And it was really sad. I never used to like watching the end. I used to turn it off before the bull got killed. But it was weird. But anyway, if you notice, you got clowns who are kind of guys in the ring who just jump around, do backflips and stuff like that to distract the bull while the matador does his thing. And the matador does very small, swift movements. There was a man called Juan Belmonte who, in the golden age of bullfighting, they called it, was like the man. And basically, he had a problem, I think, with his hip or with his legs or something. And he literally couldn't do... Before he started, all the matadors themselves used to do all the acrobats. But he physically couldn't. So he divulged away, divulged away, is that the word? Of bullfighting, where he basically moved a swift step as the ball came.
Right.
And that's what bullfighting is known as now. You know, you see that kind of red cloak sort of thing and all that. He was the man who brought that about, purely because he was injured and couldn't do it. And in his later years, through the bullfighting and his habits, which were like shagging around in brothels, smoking loads of cigars, horse riding as well, he was very injured. His body was fucked. Everything was fucked. And he went to his doctor, and the doctor said, everything's fucked. The doctor said, you got to basically give up going to the brothels. You got to give up smoking. You got to give up horse riding, because if you don't, it will kill you. So whereas most people would go, okay, he got on his horse and rode into town while smoking a cigar, went to a brothel, fucked loads of women, then shot himself in the head. And I thought that is the coolest death ever.
Yeah.
Someone says you can't do all these things, so rather than say no, you just do them all, then just kill yourself at the peak.
This interestingly leads into the next thing.
Okay.
We're talking about.
Is it our brothel, cigars and horse riding party we got?
It's actually, the question I have is, how do you think you'll die? Not how you want to. We can maybe go on to
As
that.
you hide the hammer from view.
How do you think you'll die?
I think it's...
It's so strange that I had that question lined up.
It's going to go down one of two ways. One of them is I'm going to just snap one day and just bring a shotgun to somewhere and just murder everyone I've ever loved. And...
I don't think I'd do that.
No, I always thought I would. No, I would say I would like to go out in some sort of battle where the fate of the world rests on me fighting an enemy.
Like your Ben Affleck in Armageddon or something?
What if the enemy's a meteor?
Yeah.
A meteor. I would like to go out...
Did you hear that Linkin Park album?
Meteor?
Meteor.
Meteora?
Meteora.
No, I didn't. Is that their second album? Yeah. I would like to either... really, I don't want to die as an old man of disease. Unless it's a sexually transmitted disease. I would like to go out in a blaze of glory. Not Blaze of Glory, the film. Will Ferrell ice skating.
Or Young Guns 2 Blaze of Glory.
Okay,
which is from like 92 or
Is that Emilio Estevez or something?
Yeah, Emilio Estevez, Charlie Sheen.
I always thought, as bad as it sounds, like this country's pretty safe. Nothing's really going to happen. But like, imagine if just a war erupted. I'd like to kind of go out in some awesome battle, like Mel Gibson in Braveheart. I like to go out in battle, I reckon, but like old school battle, like sword, horse, armour, leading troops.
Or
down
like
a hill.
there's some sort of like terrorist attack, and you're one of the people that picks up a gun from an injured one and like takes out a shitload.
I did think of that. That'd be cool.
I mean, I remember with the whole Tunisia thing recently. There was a couple where there was a guy, I think he was a big guy, but he just kind of
flung his missus.
Flung himself in front of his missus and took all the bullets, and when they're gone, he just told her to run. And I thought, what would I do in that situation? Because I'm not a big guy. I think
Operation Human Shield from South Park. Just get everyone else in front of you.
Get behind the darkies.
Yeah. Shepherd it. But they go, oh, no, they'll go, no, fuck that, and they'll just run. Good on you. Yeah, like, yeah.
No, I was going to say, would I be better? Would I be trying to pick up a weapon or something and just try and take a couple out?
Might as well. Like the whole 9/11 thing.
Or create a distraction for them.
Yeah.
By getting my dick out.
Dance moves.
Painting lightning stripes on my cock and swearing it out.
Pikachu use strike. This is going to sound really deep and really dark. I thought more about my own funeral than my own death. Because
I just hope they pick the right music.
But this is the thing I thought. All the things I've like written over the years, my own stuff, I never recorded. I'd like to record them and just have them all played.
And they're not heard until then.
Yeah. And then people would realise what a loss I am to the world, but only once I'm dead. 'Cause it's cooler. Have you ever thought about what you want to happen when you die? If you were to live on in some form, heaven, whatever, what you'd want?
Well, I don't think I'm going to live on, because I don't believe anything along those
I don't
lines.
either, but what would you want if you had a choice? Because I just like to be able to literally relive and see everything that happened in my life. You know, even though you're like, I fucking did say that. You know, I knew I said that, and they said I didn't. I fucking said that.
I'd do my whole life again as Groundhog Day. Or as, what was that recent Tom Cruise movie?
Top Gun.
Yeah, that was recent.
Oblivion?
I think that was the year we were born.
It was the year before we were born. I think.
Was it? 85?
I think so. Or was it 89? No. Oblivion?
No, it's Edge of Tomorrow.
South Park, Series 9. Get out of my closet.
It was Edge of Tomorrow.
I haven't seen that though.
It's basically, it's like Oblivion in this. It's a recent Tom Cruise science fiction movie.
Is it a Scientologist film?
No, it's you've seen Groundhog Day, the movie. It's the same concept, only as a science fiction action movie.
It's not with Olga Kurylenko, is it? Or is that Oblivion?
No, who's it with? It's with some action woman.
Mila Jovovich.
No, but he keeps reliving the same day, and it's like he gets put on the front line of a war.
Is it not a bit where he just walks into a B&B and grabs a toaster and just takes it up to the bathroom?
So he's like put on the front line of a war, but he starts and he's like completely incapable.
Okay.
He's not the normal Tom Cruise, I'm action man, I can do everything. He's a PR guy for the army that somehow gets fucked over by a general and put on the front line of a war. And it's like futuristic and they're fighting these aliens, and somehow it turns into Groundhog Day. So every time he dies in this
becomes Bill
battle,
Murray.
Yeah, he becomes Bill Murray, and he just turns into a ghost with streams, crosses the streams with them all, with all the other men. Each time he dies, he resets the start of the day where he wakes up and he's put into the army unit and goes on the front line. So he keeps learning all the different things he does in this battle, and where he puts a foot wrong, he's like, okay, I wake up again, I'm going to put that foot right, and he gets a little bit further.
Okay.
And it's about him working his way through this battle to get to the end of it.
Okay.
But what I was saying is I'd live my whole life again from the start, but keeping all my memories. Because that's what he does, he keeps all his memories.
So you know when you'd fucked up.
Yeah.
But don't you feel there's points where...
But if you make a big decision, then everything will be different.
Yeah. That's a scary thing. I used to think to myself, there's certain points in my life I think, I wish I'd done that different. I think if I did, I'd wake up and I'd be somewhere else. And I'd kind of think, shit, I don't want to be here. I'm going to be back to what I knew. I don't want it to have affected
But then
my
eventually,
life.
in like however many years, you'll die and start at the start again.
That's what it does. Yeah, I suppose that's it.
And try it differently. And this time round, here's the 5-year-old with his new single, Danny California.
Yeah. That's one thing I've always thought. Go back in time, you could fucking show a Beatles song to anyone and you'd be like, God.
Yeah.
No, I think a sword fight is the way I'd like to go out. Samurai style.
Pork sword fight.
Pork sword fight. Docking. I'd like to have a samurai battle. You know, proper pure like one slash.
Like The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise.
Exactly. So maybe you just want to fuck Tom Cruise. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, I think something like a sword fight or some sort of battle. Something where you go out gloriously.
In a glorious shower of semen.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
He's just drowning.
Yeah. That's pretty much the dream. How would you like to die?
I don't want to die.
Fuck that. It's going to happen.
I don't want to die.
I don't want to die, but I don't want to live forever. Because in 10 years, I hate looking back and thinking about the past, thinking, fuck, I can't handle how much things have changed. Imagine doing that after a century, after a millennia.
No, I'd be interested to see how things change.
Well, like Highlander style. Would you like to do that, like Highlander? Like the only way you could die is get your head cut off, so you literally live forever. You don't see in the Highlander where like his missus becomes all haggard and like she's like 80 and he's still 20.
If I had to pick the way I'd die, I would like it to be in some glorious chainsaw battle.
With Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, with Bruce Campbell. Although I'd probably be, if I was 80.
Bruce Campbell go, I'm a fucking actor, don't kill me.
If I was 80 at this point, he would be in his early hundreds.
He'd be like in Bubba Hotep.
Yeah. There's a trailer for the new Evil Dead TV show. It's like a 3-minute trailer.
They're doing a new film, aren't they?
It's not a new film, it's a new 10
show?
episode TV show.
I've seen the photo of him with the chainsaw in his hand.
And it's got him, it's got Xena.
Lucy Lawless?
Yeah. It looks fucking amazing. Seriously, it's...
You're going to watch it, I'm guessing you are.
Huh?
I'm guessing you're going to watch it. Is it Sam Raimi directed or?
Sam Raimi's directing the first episode, and he's producer of the series.
Cool.
I can't decide what I'm more excited for, that or Star Wars.
I should say, it's not a B movie, man. It doesn't really bother me.
Mm.
But I do like what I've seen of the Bruce Campbell stuff. I'm so excited for Star Wars.
Mm. How you'd want to die?
Who would have thought it's right now when you lock the door and set that fire?
3 dicks at the same time.
Yep.
Touching tips inside.
That's it. That's how I want to die.
Okay. How many different puns or how many names of potential tribute bands can you come up with for the band Korn?
Porn, horn, a vegetarian act called Korn.
I got that one. I'd written down Korn. And I searched it and turns out they're a real tribute act.
Yes! An under-18s version, Children of the Corn. But I guess that's where they get them anyway.
I came up with Children of the Corn as well.
A band that only plays early morning called Dawn.
It's a bit lame. I think Children of the Corn is actually like their fan club.
Well, that's what they got their name from.
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah.
A version where only gay demons play in the band called Lawn. That's for a cult following there. The one where Natalie Imbruglia joins them, Torn. One where they trim your garden after playing and it's called also Lawn. How about you?
I also had Korn, which turned out to be real. I also had, if they became homeless, let's say their career went really south, the official band, not the tribute act, there could be Korn on the curb. Because they're homeless.
That's good. That's good. One where Matt Damon joins them and they're called the Korn Legacy or the Korn Ultimatum.
They could open up a website where they'll get naked and have very dirty videos, and it's called Korn Hub.
That's good. That's good. What about when they all actually get diagnosed with HIV and it's Korn of the Dead?
Aww. Cornhole. That's when Courtney Love joins the band for an album. Cornhole.
That's good.
Or if they cover that song Enya did for Lord of the Rings, call it Aracorn.
They start advertising cereal in Aldi called Harvest Corn. Harvest Morn.
I know, yeah. I always used to read that. The way that the font is on Harvest Morn, it looked like Harvest Mom. And I always thought that was
subliminal messaging.
Yeah. I don't want to harvest my mum or any mum. Look at it next time and just kind of squint and be like, yeah, Harvest Mom. It seems kind of American.
Yeah, Harvest Moon. Really casual Satanist sort of illusion there.
Okay, I think I'm out of different types of Korn.
They could do a tribute act that merged new metal and late 90s Brit rock called Badly Corn Boy. They perform on boats in stormy water called A Perfect Corn. Sorry. Sorry. That's as far as I got, really.
That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Could that be a regular thing where I come up with
I'm happy with doing that.
Give me potential tribute act names. Wow.
There was still that conspiracy thing I wanted to talk about. It was something like, this isn't it, but the idea of maybe in order to make analogue recording a bad thing, the government created Operation U-Tree to get rid of all old school BBC stuff because they have this new policy of having everything really cool and youthful, that by getting rid of all the cool stuff that happened in the 70s, they pretended everyone was a pedo. Just to get rid of it all.
That's why we've lost Rolf Harris.
And they didn't like new metal, so they made up a horrible lie about the guy from Lost Prophets.
To get rid of the whole scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Fred Durst got rid of himself.
Yeah, he was his own worst enemy there. District 9 that you've got up there is a great, great film. That was a gem that me and my stepdad went to the cinema to watch, not knowing what to expect.
You've told that story.
I know I have. We're fucking repeating shit already.
Do we have any new music to set?
Yes. I'm going to give you the challenge, not challenge, but I'm going to give you the task.
The bumhole challenge.
The bumhole challenge of preserving that finger for 2 weeks for me to sniff. I want you to get to grips with your Slipknot discography. Slipknot. The Sean Connery tribute act. I want you to get to grips with your Slipknot discography.
Okay.
I will as well.
So we'll talk about Slipknot.
Slipknot.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
So I don't need to give you anything, because we're both going to slip the knot.
Oh, we can both do it if you want. I mean, you can tell me to brush up on chilies if you want. I don't know all my chilies.
1 hot minute?
Yeah. You said you'd give me that.
What? I'd give you 1 hot minute?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to brush up on Slipknot. I've got Iowa, Subliminal Verses, and All Hope Is Gone. So I just need to get the first album and the most recent one.
Yeah.
And brush up on the whole lot. I'm going to give you Chili's 1 hot minute.
Just that album?
I think just that album.
I've got Your Mother's Milk still.
Have you? Did you not bring it back?
I don't think I did.
Well, I'll have a look, because it'll be in alphabetical order. Freaky Styly. You right? You've still got it?
I've still got Your Mother's Milk.
And Jack's Mannequin.
Does that mean I also have to listen to I'm With You?
I think that would be a plan, because they're both albums, Chili Peppers albums with different guitarists.
I might vomit before I listen to the end of both of them.
So yeah, I'll brush up on Slipknot, and you're going to get 1 hot minute from 1995, the Chili Peppers album with Dave Navarro that has Aeroplane was the big song, and the most recent Chili Peppers album, I'm With You, with Josh Klinghoffer.
So basically everything I love about the Chili's is between these 2 albums and slightly before.
Yes.
I hate these fucking Chili's things when they do stuff like this. It makes sense though.
What, have different guitarists?
Yeah. But they have like, the O's are all different, they're pills, so I think they just read what they actually want to say. Based on the one single I know, The Adventures of Rain Dance Maggie, I'm not too fussed.
The track I'd be interested to hear your opinion on, I'll say there's 2 actually.
I can't believe it's 4 years old.
Huh?
Can't believe it's 4 years old.
The 2 tracks I'll be most interested for you to hear are track 2, Factory of Faith.
Yeah.
Which I think has elements of a classic Chili Peppers song, but isn't quite. And Did I Let You Know, which I hope gives direction that they're going to go in, because they're doing another album with Josh Klinghoffer.
Okay.
And he does backing vocals on that.
He's good at backing vocals. He's a good guitarist.
He doesn't do it much on that album. But you look knackered.
I'm a little bit knackered.
Yeah, I'm a little bit knackered.
I didn't
missed your
spill red stag all over my face.
Black cherry all over your face.
I didn't pop a cherry on my mouth. Yeah, I didn't get to sleep till late and I woke up early. With Slipknot, I would say listen to the first album because you'll recognise a lot of it from when they first came around. You tired?
Yeah.
We can just stop recording. Have sex for 35 minutes. Sloppy. Smiley penny.
I'm trying to think if I've seen any good films lately.
I don't think if I have. I started watching a film. Then I fell asleep. Have you got any films that you've got and then like you kind of think I'm going to leave them for a special time and then you don't really watch them ever? Or you watch in certain circumstances?
What films that I've seen before?
Well, whatever. Like for me, like Firefly, I literally had to have a ritual where I sat down. It was after we worked at our shift place. We had loads of shifts.
Yeah.
Sunday night, when you had 3 days left, I'd sit down, my missus would go to bed, and I'd sit there and I'd watch an episode of Firefly. I'd pour my whiskey, possibly have a shower, almost like reading the Quran or something, cleanse yourself beforehand, make myself perfect, sit there with a whiskey and watch an episode of Firefly. And that for me was like so deep. Like I don't know with Firefly, I'm too upset to watch it again because I know it's going to end.
I used to have a kind of ritual thing I would do I'd do a movie marathon. So let's say I'd pick a director. I'd pick Sam Raimi. I would watch all the Sam Raimi films.
In one go?
Yeah. Well, not in one day, over the space of maybe a week. So let's say there's probably like 8 films or something. But what I'd do, particularly with the earlier ones, I would, in my head, imagine if I'd made this film, which of my friends I would cast in the different roles, and whether I would be the director or the lead actor. And I do that with music as well sometimes. I would line up a playlist. This is when I had way more time on my hands. And I'd be like, well, let's say if I was the guitarist in this band, who would be the singer? Who of my friends would be the singer? And I would listen through an entire album or an entire list of albums. One time I did it with every Chili Peppers album up to that point. So up to Stadium Arcadium. I would listen over the space of a couple of days, all through them, keeping in mind that I'm the guitarist.
Okay.
So that I know as the singer.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't think it's cool.
I think it is.
I think it's weird.
Have I spoken on record about me and my dad with the Lord of the Rings thing?
No.
I can't remember if it's because they announced they were making the Lord of the Rings film, or because we just always like my dad grew up reading Lord of the Rings. This is like favourite books. Like he used to reread them all the time, and he used to talk about them a lot. And then I read them before the films come out. Funny enough, I didn't finish the last book for some reason. I just never got around to finishing it. And we used to talk about them a lot. And we used to talk about how if there was a film, who would play who. And before anything was announced, I think it was even before the films were announced to be in films, we used to say who would play who. And we both said Sean Connery would play Gandalf.
Do you know the thing about that?
No. But I've heard something.
That.
Sean Connery would play Gandalf. It was our main thought. Ian McKellen would play Saruman.
Oh.
And Christopher Lee would play Radagast.
Wow, that's interesting.
And it basically shifted along. We thought Tom Bombadil, do you know him?
Yeah.
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
And then Aragorn we weren't sure about, I don't think. But those ones we came across. And Tom Bombadil was left out of the films. But the fact that Ian McKellen became Gandalf and Christopher Lee became Saruman and Radagast was basically left out until The Hobbit.
The thing about Sean Connery...
Was he offered it or something?
He was offered the role of Gandalf. And he was offered a horrendous amount of... He wasn't offered money for it. He was...
he was offered orc pounds.
Yeah. He was offered a cut of the profit. A massive fucking cut. I think like 30%. And you know how much those films made?
Ridiculous. Considering Kenny Baker, who played R2-D2,
yeah,
he got offered, was it 1% of the profit of Star Wars?
Yeah.
And he's fucking ridiculously rich from it.
Yeah.
For the merchandise. Was it 1% of the merchandise?
That's shitloads as well.
And he was made for life.
Yeah.
Because everyone else took a lump sum or whatever, and he took that.
Yeah.
Genius.
But yeah, Sean Connery was offered 30% of the profits of all 3 movies. And...
Seriously, 30%?
I think it was either 30 or 40.
That's horrific.
Because they thought it would be fucking amazing to have Sean Connery in that role.
Not realising how big... That would have fucked them up, if anything.
No, I still think that would have been good.
Imagine owning that much of those films. How much do they make?
They all were in the top 20 highest grossing films of all time. They all broke around about $1 billion. So
basically, he would have got a billion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would have been a billionaire just from those 3 movies.
Jesus.
And he turned it down for some reason.
Because he's got standards. Like, not that bad films, they're amazing, but the fact that he's one of them actors who will basically just do what he wants. He doesn't care so much about the money. He cares. You never see him in interviews.
Well, he's retired from acting now.
Yeah, but even back in the day, I don't think he was in interviews and stuff. Like, he just enjoys the acting. He enjoys the part of it. It's very much like there's someone else who's like
Daniel
that.
Day-Lewis. You don't see
Daniel Day-Lewis, yeah, is a bit weird like that. Like, he'll do stuff. But yeah, there's people like that who will just not really care too much. I don't care too much for money. Money can't buy me love. That's what they say. But some people just don't give a shit, and it's good. It's good that those people exist.
He retired around about that time, though. I think his last film was League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah. Do you not say, look, have you seen The fucking Rock? Do I need to prove myself any more than The Rock? I outshone Nicolas Cage.
Have you heard the fan theory about The Rock?
Yes.
Did I tell you?
Either you or my mate Sol told me, because you're both Sean Connery fans. He's a massive Sean Connery fan.
The fan theory is that
James Bond.
That he's actually James Bond.
Yeah.
In that movie.
And that he's basically James Bond once he's been captured.
Yeah. The story in that film is that he was a British spy that was captured in the 70s and had been kept in prison until now.
Yeah.
And has knowledge of lots of secrets about...
Yeah. It's a good theory. I hope it's true.
Yeah.
That makes James Bond real?
Well, no, it just makes him... He has his own universe between the James Bond films and The Rock.
Yeah. There was someone I was thinking of. I can't remember who it bloody was. And they kind of stick to themselves. That was it. Bill Murray. He doesn't have an agent, a film agent. The only way to contact him, I don't know if it's still so now, but up until recently, was you ring his number, his home number, and leave a message on his voicemail. And if he picks up the message, he'll get back to you. And there's loads of roles he's missed because he just hasn't got back to the messages in time. So I think there was so many films that Bill Murray was offered first pick of, and he just didn't get back to his voicemail in time, his answering machine, and he lost out. I'm going to try and find the films now, but there was certain ones like somebody says he's in a film or something. He says about Garfield, because he did the voice of Garfield, didn't he? And there's a film he's in, and they said, "Have you got any?" There's another film he's in, and when he's about to be killed in it, they say, "Have you got any regrets?" And he says, "Garfield was a mistake."
What was that?
It's not Zombieland, is it?
I think it's Zombieland.
Is it Zombieland? Have you heard all the fan fiction about Bill Murray, about things happening with him and being spotted in random places and all that?
No.
He's just been spotted in Japan on the golf course, riding around on the golf course in the middle of Tokyo or something like that. And when they arrest him, he's like, "I'm Bill Murray," or something like that. Just really random. There was one in Edinburgh or Glasgow, and I don't know what he was doing, but he turned up to some kids in the street saw him, we're going to house party, come along. He's like, okay. And he turned up with his kids as Bill Murray, and all his kids were getting trashed, and when they all got smashed, he just went into the kitchen, did all their washing up, and then left. So God, next day, Bill Murray done all their washing up. Just random stuff like that. And he's just so cool. And this is it, yeah, it wasn't Japan, it was Sweden. Murray was once pulled over by Swedish police on suspicion of driving a golf cart under the influence of alcohol. During the making of Charlie's Angels, it is said that Lucy Liu threw punches at Murray after he told her that she couldn't act. Yeah, being very detached from the Hollywood scene, Murray does not have an agent or manager and reportedly only fills offers for scripts and roles using a personal telephone number with a voice mailbox that he checks in frequently. The practice is a downside of sometimes preventing him from taking parts in films such as Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Monsters Inc., Squid and the Whale, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Little Miss Sunshine. They wanted him for all them films and he just didn't check his voicemail in time. That's so good. That's such a human thing.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's like compared to all this bullshit with all the emails and all that. Murray seemed content with his inaccessibility, stating, "It's not that hard. If you have a good script, that's what gets you involved. People say they can't find me. Well, if you can write a good script, that's a lot harder than finding someone. I don't worry about it. It's not my problem." He just doesn't give a shit. I'll try and find Bill Murray facts for you. 20 reasons Bill Murray is the coolest human being alive. He's like Sean Connery, but the more fun version of Sean Connery. Apparently he can actually bowl. You know, have you seen Kingpin with Woody Harrelson bowling film?
I don't think I've seen it. It was like 90s.
Great film. In Kingpin, there's a scene where he bowls 3 strikes in a row. Apparently Bill Murray actually did that, and the crowd's reaction in the film is genuine.
That's awesome.
Like, I've seen that, yeah. But yeah, there's loads of things. There's things like him turning up at parties and just being a bartender. Or he goes into a bar and just starts making cocktails for people and stuff like that. Just out of nowhere.
And do people say to him, "What are you doing?" And he just says, "I'm Bill Murray."
Pretty much, yeah. Just him and Chuck Norris need to battle it out for the all-time awesomeness. Yeah, karaoke with total strangers. I've heard about this. In New York City's Karaoke 17 or whatever, a club one night, basically like they found him in a karaoke bar just wandering around, so they invited him and he sat in their private booth with them and just started singing karaoke. Oh, that was it as well. He went to some like office or something and there was a bunch of people like, oh, can we have your autograph? And rather than sign their autograph because he doesn't like doing it, he just walked a slow motion walk through the office with them all. So it's just like all filmed in like pretend slow motion with Bill Murray walking beside you, stuff like that.
Rose is watching The L Word.
Lesbian love.
Yeah, it's a lesbian show.
Okay. Labia. Does it stand for labia then?
Yeah, maybe. And she says she's found a new Laura Prepon. So I've asked her to send a link.
Okay. To the masturbatorium.